hear me now?
ครับได้ยินแล้วครับนิดครับ
Good evening.
Yes.
How are you?
Okay.
How many people?
9 people at this time.
9 people already. Okay.
ครับได้ยินแล้วครับนิด
Chanikan live admin 5 people. There's only 5 people in right now.
กำลัง They are coming in. Okay, Arvin is coming in.
Alvin is the first one. Hi Alvin, how are you?
I'm good, Ajahn. How are you, Ajahn?
You're from Malaysia.
Yes, I'm from Malaysia, Ajahn. Yes.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on. Have any questions?
Yeah, Ajahn, I've got one question on the walking meditation. So when we walking meditation is basically for mindfulness, right, Ajahn, rather than for to achieve samadhi.
Yes, because in order to have samadhi, you have to be still. Your body has to be still. So you have to be sitting down or standing still. Otherwise, your mind still has to work. Your mind has to tell your body what to do. So you want to have samadhi, normally you would have to sit still, except for some special event. If you happen to be walking and then you run into some danger, your mind might freeze and enter into samadhi that way. But otherwise, you will need to be sitting mostly or standing. You have to be still. Your body has to be still before your mind can become still. All right.
So
basically, it's more for developing mindfulness.
Okay.
When you walk, you want to control your thoughts by watching your steps, or you can recite the Bhutto mantra, Bhutto. Then your mind will then stop thinking, but it will not be completely still. Then when you're ready, you go sit and then continue on with your mindfulness, whether you're watching the breath or reciting the mantra. Then your mind will then be able to enter into samadhi that way.
Right. Okay. So when we walk, Ajahn, when we do the walking meditation, you're supposed to be very mindful of all the steps you are taking. So when the thoughts come to your mind, are you supposed to stop or
ignore them? You cannot force them to stop. You can force them to stop just briefly, then you'll come back again. So the only way to get rid of them is to concentrate on your action, on your walking or on the mantra.
Right. Okay.
Leave the thoughts alone. They're competing with you when you're first starting developing mindfulness. Your thoughts are still very strong, so they keep thinking. You just keep focusing on your action. If you're walking, just watch your steps or reciting the mantra.
Okay. So continue walking even though you got thoughts in your mind. Just continue walking.
Yeah. Don't pay attention to it. Okay. So did you tell Philip yet?
I'm going to tell him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go to other participants if there's any new participant in. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay. We have Cheng Yong. How are you, Cheng Yong? Unmute your microphone. Okay.
I'm fine, Ajahn. I have nothing to ask Ajahn.
Can you speak louder?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Ajahn. I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I have no question. I only want to listen to what other participant is asking only.
Okay, you're from Malaysia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll go to the next person then. Kelvin Pung. Hi, Kelvin.
Yeah, hi Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn.
You're from
Yeah, I got
Indonesia?
from Singapore.
Singapore, yes.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I got two questions to ask Ajahn. First question: when one is out of the samsara, is there still the knowing element? The second
yes.
question.
Yes, the first question is the knowing element is always there. It
Yes, thank you.
never disappears. It's either in samsara or outside of samsara. The ones outside of samsara are the Buddha and the Arahant. The rest are still in samsara or in the process of getting out. Like the Sotapanna, the Sakidagami, and the Anagami is still in the process of getting out of samsara. They haven't got out completely yet, but they will eventually. For a Sotapanna, not more than 7 lifetimes. A Sakidagami, 1 lifetime. And an Anagami, you will be in samsara in the highest sphere of existence, the form and the formless. And then eventually will be outside of samsara. Okay? This is the first question, right? What's the second question?
Yes, Ajahn. Second question: how we develop a pure metta bhavana that without this greed, pure metta bhavana.
It means that you have to be kind and loving to every being, regardless of their race, nationality, or status, whether they're human or animals or spiritual beings. You have to give them all the same kindness and loving. So this is no discrimination. Everybody included. You have to be nice and kind to everybody. This is metta. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Geraldine. You're next. How are you? You're from Singapore also, right?
Yes, Ajahn, I'm good.
Okay. How are you? Unmute your microphone. Okay.
Sorry, I'm good. Thank you, Ajahn.
You got questions today?
I don't really have a question, but I realized that Ajahn, you sleep very little, right?
What? Can you repeat?
Ajahn, you actually wake up very early in the morning at 3 a.m. to have Zoom, right?
I still want the time whenever I feel like it. When I get up, see, I have to do two separate time zones, one for the east and one for the west. Early
Yes,
for me, 3 o'clock will be suitable for the western hemisphere, and now in the evening here it will be suitable for the eastern hemisphere.
Yes, I thought so too. So how many hours does Ajahn sleep?
Oh, I can catch. Usually I do about 4 or 5 at night, and then I might catch 1 or 2 hours during the day nap. So I have plenty of rest. I got nothing to do, except teaching Dhamma.
Sadhu.
So I have now different tools to teach you, and Zoom is one of a good tool.
Yes, it is.
I can reach people far away.
Yeah.
So okay, let me go to Rose then. Okay.
Thank you.
How are you, Rose? Please unmute your microphone first. Unmute your microphone. It's still not on. Okay, it's on now. Say hello. How are you?
Good morning, Tanajan. Good morning, Sangha, admins from everywhere. Yes, I'm glad to join this meeting again, Tanajan.
Good to see you. What can I do for you today?
Tanajan, I would like you to explain if this is correct or not. Concerning my practice, I am a kind of observing the mental faculties of intention, attention, and memory, reason, and up to now, my understanding, which is the thing that I wanted to correct if it's not right. My understanding is coming like this. The intention seems to be the most important part of the practice, because the intention is the willpower and the effort that we can put into our practice. And attention, our attention is attending all the time in this avidya mode, chitta vidya mode. The attention is attending to memory, which is the storehouse of the feelings and thoughts that react all the time, and they are not accordingly to the reason. They oppose reason and logic. It seems that attention, Tanajan, to me, is like a mirror. It mirrors the karmic store. And thus our intentions cannot be accordingly to logic. But once we get the experience of bhavanga, it seems that attention is free, and this attention turns into mere awareness. So, Tanajan, if with the practice our memory, feelings, and thoughts, these khandhas contaminated by our kamas, if these memory, feelings, and thoughts will turn into the right view, which is panya, and the concentrative discernment of continuous seeing the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics, and thus the feelings and thoughts will turn into right intention. This is the way I could understand my practice going on, if it's right or wrong. Please comment.
I think you are right. You have to reprogram your mind. Right now, your mind is under the influence of delusion and avijja, which will direct your mind to see things incorrectly. Instead of seeing impermanent, you see permanent. Instead of seeing suffering, you see happiness. Instead of seeing no self, you see a self in yourself, in your body, and things that you have as belonging to you. So you have to switch. You have to turn your perception around by teaching your mind the three characteristics of existence. Every time you see things or hear things, you have to tell your mind, they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. They are not niccang, sukkha, atta. People tend to look at things and say, oh, good, I will be happy if I have this thing. They don't know they're running into the trap. You might get happiness at first, but then eventually that happiness will turn sour and become suffering or sadness. So this is what you should try to teach your mind all the time. Reprogram your mind from looking at things as being anicca, sukkha, atta, and turn it to the opposite side. Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Is this clear enough?
Thank you.
Okay. So you have to contemplate anicca, dukkha, anatta when you're not meditating. When you're outside of meditation, like right now, you can look at me and say, I am anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you don't want to be attached to me. Because if you are attached to me, if anything happens to me, you can become sad. But if you don't attach to me, then whatever happens to me won't affect your mind. But when you meditate, you don't want to contemplate. Because when you meditate, you want to build up strength to your mind. You want to build up equanimity. So when you meditate, you want to still and calm the mind. So you don't want to think, you don't want to contemplate during meditation. Only after you come out of meditation, then you can contemplate. Because that's the time when you face reality. When you meditate, you more or less withdraw yourself from reality. So you don't need to contemplate. But when you withdraw from your meditation, you start to come to face with reality through your sense organs, through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. Then whenever you come into contact with sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects, you have to be constantly telling your mind, this is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Don't become attached to them. You can deal with them. You can, in contact with them, but be mindful, be wisdom, be wise. Tell yourself, don't fall into the trap of becoming attached to them. Because when you become attached to them, when they change or when they disappear, then you will be in trouble. You will feel bad. Okay, is this good enough, clear enough to you? All right, let me go to the next person then, okay? Rachel Lim from Singapore. Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Ajahn. Good evening. Good to see you
Good to
again.
see you again. Okay. What can I do for you today?
Ajahn, you mentioned that when meditating, try to be in samadhi as long as possible. So I've tried to maintain equanimity, but the neutral feeling can only last like the first 2 hours. After the second hour, coming to the third hour, the pain will be too much to bear. And the mind cannot stay in equanimity anymore. And some Ajahn says that however long you sit, there will come a time when you can't have upekkha anymore. So the objective is not to sit as long as possible, but what is Ajah's advice on this? Is it the objective is to try to sit as long as possible and try to prolong the sitting meditation day after day? Thank you,
See,
Ajahn.
when you have painful feeling in the body, then this becomes an object for your investigation or contemplation. You can use this is Vedana. You can then use the 3 characteristics and teach your mind that this Vedana, painful feeling, is anicca, it's impermanent, it comes and goes. It's anatta, it's something you cannot get rid of or tell them to go away. So the only thing is for you to do with this is to tell your mind not to react to it. The reason why you feel uneasy or you lost your equanimity is because you have desire. You have cravings to get rid of your painful feeling. This is vipava tanha, the desire to not to be painful. So if you want to advance in your practice, then you should continue sitting and then try to teach your mind to embrace this painful feeling. It's not the painful feeling is not the problem. The problem is your reaction toward this painful feeling. You have negative reaction. You want to run away from it, or you want to get rid of it. So, then you should tell your mind that running away will not solve the problem, because it will come after you again in the next sitting, or when you get sick. So the best thing is to learn to live with it by increasing your mindfulness, by reciting a mantra. If your mind still resists and still feel uneasy, then you have to use the mantra, recite Bhutto, 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 until your mind becomes calm again. And then it can accept the pain. Then you regain equanimity this way. So in this way, you will be developing vipassana at the same time. Because you learn to see the nature of pain, the painful feeling as being uncontrollable. You cannot control it. It's like the weather. You just have to learn to live with it. Like we learn to live with the weather, right? We don't react to the weather. We accept the weather for what it is. So we should accept painful feeling for what it is, because it will always be with us until the day we die.
The first 2 hours, I find that the pain will come and go. It's still bearable, but it's only after the second hour.
That means you have to then tell your mind that you need more concentration in order to be able to stick with the pain. So you have to develop more concentration by reciting Bhutto, 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 or some other thing. You can recite the 32 parts of the body. You can recite Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Just as long as to keep your mind busy. Because when your mind becomes busy, it doesn't react to the pain. Then there will be no craving or desire for the pain to disappear. Then there will be no uneasiness in the mind. That's caused by the desire to get rid of the pain. Then you will know how to handle the pain in the future. When you get sick, when you feel painful, you don't need to take painkillers. It's better to take vipassana killer. You kill the cravings, not kill the pain. It was your craving. That's the problem that caused you uneasiness in your mind, not the pain. So you use vipassana. If people do it wrongly, they try to get rid of the pain by taking painkillers. But the painkillers can only kill the pain for briefly. After a while, the pain comes back again. And you become addicted to the painkillers. But if you use the vipassana method, you kill the cravings, the desire to get rid of the pain. Then the mental suffering will disappear. Then your mind becomes calm and able to live with the physical pain. Then you won't need to use any painkillers in the future. Every time you have painful feeling, and you feel uneasy with your mind, you just tell your mind to stop wishing for the physical pain to go away. Just embrace the physical pain. Just accept it like you accept the rain and the wind. Then there will be no problem with the mind. Try it, see how it works. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, let me go to the next couples, Xin Yi and Monica Chen. Your mother and daughter?
Yes.
From Singapore or from Malaysia?
Malaysia.
From Malaysia. Okay. Can I help you today? What can I help you with today?
Long Paul. So as last week, Long Paul's advice, so I've been trying to plan my daily activities to incorporate meditation. So it's getting better, and then every Sunday I also try to take the 8 precepts and do more practice, meditation, walking and sitting.
Yes, good. Try to increase your activity, your meditation activity as much as possible. You have to do a trade-off. Instead of watching TV, you say, "Oh, I'll do meditation instead." Instead of doing something that you can give up, then you should switch to meditation, to practice more and more. Because the more you practice, the more result you will get. It's just common sense. The more input, the more output. The less input, the less output.
Okay.
Right?
Then, Longpo, I have one question. So, that we have attended some Dhamma talks by some other teachers. So they actually advise us to do meditation when we are listening to Dhamma talks. Is it all right if, let's say, for Longpo's session, like the Dhamma talks, or even during the Dhamma discussion, like when we are not talking, is it okay if we meditate?
When you listen to Dhamma talk, you should listen to the Dhamma talk. Don't meditate. Only after when you're not listening to the Dhamma talk, then you meditate. Because listening to Dhamma talk is also a way of meditating.
Okay.
You are also concentrating your mind to listen to the Dhamma. Then you can gain the benefits from listening to Dhamma talk. There are 5 benefits from listening to Dhamma talk. The first is you'll hear something that you have not heard before. Secondly, if you have heard it before, when you listen to it again, you get a better understanding of what you hear. Thirdly, it will then help get rid of some of your questions or doubts. Fourthly, it will establish samadhi or right view in your mind. Fifth, it will give you calm, peacefulness, and happiness. So when you listen to Dhamma, pay attention to the Dhamma. If you want to meditate, you should then just turn off the Dhamma talk and meditate. Don't do both at the same time because they are conflicting. Because if you want to meditate and you can still hear the sound can disturb your meditation.
Okay.
All right. You should listen to Dhamma talk because you need the instruction to guide you. Only you feel that you don't need the instruction, then you can skip the Dhamma, listening to Dhamma talk, or listen less and practice more.
Okay.
Eventually, you'll do a lot more practice than listening. Once you know what to do and how to do it, but then you have to come back from time to time because you might run into questions or you don't know what to do next. Then you will have to listen or ask questions. So the Buddha said timely listening to the Dhamma and timely discussion of the Dhamma is considered to be a very auspicious thing to do. So you could never leave the listening to Dhamma talks. You need it all the way to your enlightenment. Once you become enlightened, then you don't need to listen to any more Dhamma talks. Because you will truly know everything about the Dhamma. Then you then become a teacher instead of being a listener. You become a teacher instead. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Longpo.
All right. So let me go to the next person. Philip Lim. Oh, okay. Okay, continue on.
Yes, okay. Actually, earlier on, Longpo mentioned about having samadhi. So, and not to do vipassana, bhavana all the time. So let's say during daily activities, daily life, my mind actually is very active and it always run around, catching a lot of objects. So usually I will follow the feelings because the feelings come in, then I will follow. Sometimes it makes my mind very restless. So during normal day activities, should I just maybe recall Buddha, or maybe just sort of bring my mind back to the breathing instead of...
Yes. Huh? If you haven't yet established any jhanas, you should focus your effort on developing the jhanas first. Because if you have no jhanas, you cannot use wisdom to get rid of your defilement. You don't have the strength. So don't worry about vipassana when you haven't yet established samadhi. You need to have samadhi first. Then after that, once you have samadhi, then you can then use contemplation instead of reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, or concentrating on your breath. So the first step is to develop samadhi. In order to have samadhi, you have to develop sati or mindfulness, such as reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, to stop you from thinking. And when you sit down, meditate, your mind can become completely still and enter into samadhi. Once you become proficient with entering into samadhi, then after you come out of samadhi, then you can start contemplating by contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta, on everything that you come into contact with. Things and people are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Your body, your possession, everything is also anicca, dukkha, anatta. Teach your mind to let go, not to become attached to them. Then your mind will then have no suffering when they separate from you, when they go away from you. Okay?
So that means during normal waking hours, I just concentrate to develop samadhi.
Right. Develop mindfulness by reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, or watch what you are doing at the moment. If you're eating, just concentrate on eating. Don't think about other things but eating. When you're washing your face, just watch your face. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Try to keep the mind stick to the body. Then when you meditate, your mind will become calm very easily and quickly. Then after you have become proficient with your samadhi, then you can, when you come out of samadhi, then you can contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta, on whichever aspect you want to contemplate. You want to contemplate on your body, contemplate on other people's body. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. They will get old, get sick, and die. You can contemplate on the four elements, being this is the nature of the body. There's no self in the body. The body is made up from the four elements: the earth, the water, the wind, and the fire element. When they combine, they become the 32 parts of the body. Keep teaching your mind like this until you become convinced that you are not the body, you are the mind. You are the one who investigate or contemplate the body. And you are not the body. So whatever happens to the body doesn't happen to you. Then you will not be disturbed when things happen to the body. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Lampo.
Okay, let me go to the next person. Okay, Philip Lim. Okay, Philip, how are you? From Malaysia. You have to unmute your microphone. Okay.
Yes,
go ahead.
And I'm good, thank you. I'm good, thank you.
Please go ahead. Good.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm just listening in to some of the questions here. Coming back to the previous question regarding the mind, which is that we train the mind. That means the mind alone, right, doesn't consist of the sanya sankhara and also the consciousness anymore, right? It doesn't.
No, the mind will always have the four nama khandha, the
Okay.
Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana.
Vijnana.
They are parts of the mind, and they will go with the mind wherever the mind goes. But the mind can choose to use it or not to use it. Like when you enter into jhana, you stop using it. You stop using them.
Okay, so Ajahn, so in the stage of the jhana, the four khandas doesn't appear, right?
They don't appear. Only part. Some of them might appear, like the vinyana might still appear to know what's going on inside in the mind during that time. Yeah. So, but sankhara stop completely. You stop thinking. Perception and vinyana might still exist to tell the mind what's going on inside the mind.
Does the vijnanas stop in any of the parts of the meditation if you go deeper, or it exists there to know?
I think the deepest state we call the nirodha samadhi, where vedana and sanya also disappear. But this might be a speculation on our part. So it's better to do it, to prove it to yourself.
Okay, yes.
When you meditate, you'll find out what's going on inside your mind. Sanditiko. So I don't want to go any deeper or any more than this, because it will be just like just imagining on our part. So it's better to meditate and actually experience it. But the goal is not to worry about this thing. The goal is to make your mind happy.
Yes.
When you meditate and when your mind becomes calm, you have happiness inside yourself. Once you have happiness inside yourself, then you don't need to have other things to make you happy. Then you can let go of your attachment to other things. Right now, you don't have happiness inside yourself. So you have to rely on other things and people to keep you happy, to make you happy. So what we want to do is to switch our source of happiness from outside to inside, because the inside source is more secure, more reliable than the external source. If you rely on other people or things, they can change or they can leave you anytime. And when they do that, you have suffering, you have sadness. But if you can develop happiness inside yourself, you can always do it. Always, although it might be impermanent, like when you enter into jhana, you have happiness. When you come out, you lose that happiness. But you can always go back to it anytime you want. But there's a higher form of happiness, better than the jhana. It's the happiness of nibbana. And the happiness nibbana comes after you relinquish your attachment to the jhana. You have to give up your attachment or your craving for jhana, your desire for jhana. Once you can stop your desire for jhana, when there's no desire left in your mind, the mind becomes perfectly pure, then it has this nibbanang palamang sukhang. So this eventually is where we want to go. First, we get rid of our sensual cravings, the happiness we get from the sense organs and the sense objects. Once we get rid of that, then we become attached to the happiness of jhana. Then we have to get rid of that attachment to the happiness of jhana. Then when we have no more attachment to jhana, then the mind will be completely empty of cravings. And there are no cravings, then the mind will be completely happy all the time. Supreme happiness, nibbanang palamang sukhang, nibbanang palamang sunyang. Sunyang means empty. Nothing left in the mind, no cravings left in the mind, no three cravings, no kama tanha, no bhava tanha, no vibhava tanha. Okay? Okay, let me go to the next person. Okay, we have lots of people waiting, so we just share a little bit, one question at a time.
Yes.
Okay, Kek Yenso. Okay, where are you from?
John, this is Kek Yen. I'm from Penang.
Okay, how are you?
Good, I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
You got question today?
Ajahn, I have one question is, there's certain Buddhist teaching saying that when somebody pass away, normally for the practice of Malaysia, we're saying that not to touch their body for 8 hours after pass away. Maybe because of changing of the 4 elements. So if we touch their body, it creates some pain to that body and impact their next life. So what is Ajahn opinion on these 8 hours? Because sometimes in certain occasion, if they pass away in the hospital or during accident, we may not able to say that not touching their body, right? For example, changing their clothes only after 8 hours. So I would like to get advice from Ajahn on this, on the opinion of these 8 hours.
Oh, there's no basis on this belief. It's just belief. Once the mind is completely separated from the body, that's the end of the union. Except for some exceptional case in which the person didn't actually die yet. The mind just entered into jhana and the body became still. Then you have story about people returning from the dead. That's because they didn't actually die. Their mind just happened to enter into jhana and they're not responding. But other than that, once your person dies, then that's the end of the union. You can do anything to the body.
I see. How about send for cremation, burning their body? For Malaysia, normally we put 3 days, 5 days. But for those are like old folks in the old folks home, they say they are welfare case. They don't have any relative. Is it okay? We put only 1 day or 2 days. Just send them for cremation, burning. Is it all right, Ajahn?
Yes. Dr. Mahabua, when his mother died, she died in the morning, and he said, "Let's cremate her in the afternoon."
Oh, I see.
But his relative asked for 1 night to keep the body for 1 night, so that the relatives who live far away can come and pay their last respect. So he then kept the body of his mother for 1 night, but no chanting, no ceremonies, nothing. Just lay the body and let people come and pay their respect, because there's nothing you can do for the dead person anymore. You cannot make merit for the dead you only can do merit for yourself when you're still alive. When you die, you cannot do any merit, and other people do merit for you is very minimal. So there's no need to have this rituals of chanting, keeping the body for 3 nights or 7 nights. In Thailand, some people even keep for 100 days before they cremate.
Oh, okay.
It's just belief. They don't want to appear that they want to get rid of the person as soon as they die. You cremate them. It makes you feel as if you are cold-hearted. You didn't love them or something. So they felt that they have to keep the body just to show their love and respect for the person. But once a person is died, it doesn't matter when you cremate, when you bury. I think it's more out of practicality. The Buddha, for his body, says 7 days, because he had many people who want to come pay respect. Have kings and princes from all the different kingdoms, so that they have to have time to travel and to come and pay respect. He had many savaka, many disciples, and they are all in different places. So it takes time for them to come and pay their last respect. So the Buddha said, just keep my body for 7 days. Then on the 8th day, cremate my body. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, let me go to Sweetan now. Sweetan, it's your turn. From Vancouver, but she's also from Malaysia previously.
How are you?
How are you?
You're good, Ajahn. How are you?
So you wake up early today, huh?
Not
Early.
really. It's already 6:30.
This is your normal time to
Okay.
be up.
Yes.
Okay, you got any question?
I just want to share my experience about what you were talking with Rachel just now. I really thank Long Po because I was having intense pain for many not many, like about 5 years during meditation, and it's very consistent. Like it's always after an hour or after and it's really intense. I can never go through that hurdle. And after Long Po's advice, I keep after meditation the pain comes up, and after your advice I just thought that, oh, it's a weather and you have to accept it, and it's no more a problem. Long Po is really like your method really helps me, like no, like I can live with the pain, like it's no problem.
That's right, because there's no vibhava tanha, the desire to get away from the pain doesn't arise in your mind.
Right, it's for me it's like remarkable, because it's been years, and not only on during meditation and also daily life. When I meet difficult situation or people, I use the same method, and
that's right. Everything is anatta. Everything
yeah,
is like the weather.
Right, it's no problem. Like it's right, as Long Po, I just I really like thank
the problem is yourself. It's not the things that have no problem. It's you who is the problem.
It's
you
me, I
cope,
think
because you want to choose, you want it to be like this and like that.
Right.
It doesn't satisfy your craving, then it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to adapt the mind.
It's amazing.
Adjust the mind to accept the realities of the situation that you happen to be in. Then there will be no problem. Simple. This is Buddhism. Once you get the understanding, this is the Four Noble Truths. You have dukkha, you have problem, then you look at the cause of the problem, then you see it's your desire.
Right.
Once you get rid of your desire,
medicine. It's really like like you give me a medicine and it cure. Like really, like I truly experienced it. It's amazing. Like really remarkable.
Good, very good to hear. And I think this is nice of you to share for other people.
I want to share this because I really truly experience it, and I hope that everybody like will experience this.
And not only with pain, with fear also. When you have come face to face with danger, if you just accept the danger and say, okay, if anything's gonna happen, let it happen, because there's nothing you can do, right? If the tiger gonna eat you, what can you do? You just accept it. Then there will be no fear. There will be no suffering in your mind. But you might be eaten up by the tiger, but that's part of life, right? Eventually, we all have to leave. we all have to lose the body sooner or later. That's why monks go into the forest to look for tigers, in order to get rid of their fear of death, of dying. Once they have gone through this, then they're not afraid of dying anymore. Then they don't have to go into the forest. They can live anywhere. The problem is already solved. So there's no need to keep solving the problem again and again. Once you solve it vipassana, then you would no longer have to solve it again. But if you use the method of mindfulness, like reciting the mantra, then you will still have to recite the mantra every time you come face to face with the problem. But if you use anicca, dukkha, anatta, and you say, well, there's nothing you can do. You just have to accept it. Then this will solve the problem once and for all. But for that particular type of problem, there are other type of problems that you might not have solved yet, so you have to solve them. The Buddha divided them into three type of problem: the body problem, the feeling problem, and then the mental state problem. We have somebody. Please wait. We are talking. Okay. Let me go to the next person then. Okay. Do you have anything else to say?
No, thank you, Long Po.
Okay, Simon, you are next. Where are you from, Simon? Please unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Yes.
Ajahn.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Indonesia. I live in Orange County. Last couple of weeks we met, Ajahn. Yeah. Pay respect, Ajahn.
Okay.
Yeah. I try. How are you, Ajahn?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn. I try to practice our meditation, like I asked last time to Ajahn, but my mind still jumping around to the past and then to the future. What should I do to make it more focused, Ajahn?
What did you use for your mindfulness?
I do breathing in and out and Buddha on the same time.
Okay. Maybe should you just use one, not both? Just recite Bhutto, and don't worry about the breath first. Keep concentrating on your Bhutto. This will give you more concentration. If you have to watch the breath with your Bhutto, your concentration will not be strong enough because you have to wait for your breath to come in and go out. But with Bhutto, you can recite it faster. So you can become more concentrated, or you can recite some chanting. If you can remember some chanting, you can recite the chanting of Bhutto. Don't watch your breath yet. You need a stronger concentration before you can watch your breath. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn.
Right.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay, I'll go on to the next person. We'll come back later if you have any more questions later on.
Sure.
Siva Kuman.
Now we'll go to Mike.
Yeah.
Next here. Okay.
Namaste, Bandiji. Namaste, Bandiji.
Siva Kuman. Okay.
I'm from India.
Yes.
I'm practicing Anapana and Vipassana meditations.
Yes.
With my strong determinations, I'm able to bring back the mind and focus on below the nostrils at the ends of the upper lip. And my Vipassana is also fine. I just want to learn about something about jhanas. So which book is a good book on jhanas? Can you just give a short intro on jhanas? What is it?
Just search the internet for jhanas. And then I think the best book is the Tripitaka. Jhana. Yeah, this is the original teaching of the Buddha.
And it's written by?
Pardon me?
No, it's written by whom?
It's by the Buddha. The Tripitaka consists of the Buddha's teaching.
Okay.
So you search for Tripitaka and jhana.
Okay. Is there any particular author name?
No, it's from the Tripitaka.
Okay.
You go into maybe first you go into the book Tripitaka. Then once you get to the Tripitaka, then search for jhana. Then all the talk about jhanas will come up. And then you can study from there first, because this is the original, the Buddha himself. Then after that, you can read other books by other people, by other monks who might explain it in more detail.
Okay. And is Abhidhamma the highest teaching of Buddha?
No, Abhidhamma is one of the three baskets of teaching.
Okay.
Which deal mainly with the Dhamma itself. The Dhamma, the teaching, without having any story behind them. The Sutta also the teaching, but also tells the story behind the teaching. And the Vinaya is about the monk's discipline, the monastic discipline. So these are the three teachings three categories of the Buddha's teaching. They call Abhidhamma the higher Dhamma. That's because it's pure Dhamma. Has no story behind it. That's all. But the Sutta also teach the high Dhamma. So don't get misunderstanding to think that you have to study the Abhidhamma. You don't need to study the Abhidhamma. You can study the suttas.
Okay. And during our meditation, sometimes we feel our body is shaking and our neck is rotating. So these kind of difficulties we face. So what is it due to?
Your body shaking usually means you don't have mindfulness. So you're losing your mindfulness. You're not watching your breath. You might be in a trance. So you have to bring back your mindfulness. Come back and watch your breath.
Okay.
All right.
And when I'm focusing more on sensation, I feel sometimes vomiting in Vipassana.
You shouldn't concentrate on your feeling when you meditate. You should use your breath. The sensation is only when you come out of your meditation. And when you have bad sensation, then you teach your mind to let go of the bad sensation. Don't try to get rid of the bad sensation. Teach your mind to embrace it because it's anatta. You cannot get rid of it. It will come and go by itself. When it still exists, just teach your mind to accept it, to live with it.
Okay.
With sensation, you don't create sensation and then observe it. You let sensation arise and then teach your mind to accept it, whatever type of sensation. There are three types of sensation: good, bad, and neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah. Then you just accept them because they keep changing.
Anicca.
Sometimes you got accept good feeling, accept bad feeling, accept neutral feeling.
Yeah, that's the right view of Buddha teachings.
Yeah. You don't sit there and create sensation and then try to study that. No, you let things happen naturally.
Yep.
And all you have to do is just be aware and then don't react to whatever you becoming aware of.
So is following Vipassana is enough for attaining final liberation with developing the parmis?
You need Vipassana, you need to be able to understand the three objects of Vipassana: body, feeling, and state of mind, mental state, and be able to live with them without having to react to them.
Okay.
All right.
Fine, thank you.
Okay. I was gonna ask Mike to talk next. Mike, are you ready?
Hi, good evening, Ajahn. I have no
Singapore.
questions today. Yeah, I'm from Singapore. I have no questions today because you have answered my key questions previously. I'm just here to learn and listen today.
Okay, good. Nice talking to
and
you.
I was reading your book the past few days, My Way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite inspiring. You about your way, your life leading to monkhood.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Follow it.
Thank
Follow
you.
it. Follow my example. Become a monk.
Oh, it's too okay. It's too hard, I think.
No, if you want to do anything, it's not hard. It's only hard when you don't want to do it.
Okay, I'll try to be consistent with my practice first.
Okay, yeah, you need to develop something first before you can take the plunge, take the decision. Okay, nice talking to you. Let me go to the next person. Phoebe, how are you from Toronto? Unmute your microphone.
Hello, Ajahn. Really good to hear you and see you again. I'm very good. I don't have a question. I just have a similar experience to Sweetan yesterday, which also never happened to me before. Because since it's like 2 days ago when you talk to me again about how to contemplate, following the meditation, and to start vipassana practice, and use and reflect on anicca, anatta, and dukkha. And so during the day or during the evening yesterday, I was starting to feel sad about something or lonely and wanting something to be what it was not. And then suddenly I just recall the 3 marks of existence, and the sadness totally vanished. And I never had that experience before, because I knew before intellectually that I have to be mindful and sort of, okay, I feel lonely. Why do I feel lonely? But this time I didn't even have to reason with myself. I just remember, okay, it's not self and it's impermanent, and that's why it's dukkha. And then suddenly my mind was happy again. It's really amazing. I never had that experience before.
Yeah, very happy to hear that. You have seen the Dhamma. You have seen the light of Dhamma. Now you know how to deal with your problem. Just look at them as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then your mind will let go.
Thank you.
Okay, let me go to Jeremy, C18. How are you? Where are you from, Jeremy? Please unmute your microphone first. You have seen the Dhamma.
I have.
You have seen the light of Dhamma.
I don't know whether you can hear me.
Just look at them as anicca. I get some feedback from you. You have 2 phones. You turn on some.
No, it's very noisy.
Okay.
There's a lot of
Let me go to
repeating
Jeremy.
noise. I don't understand why.
How are you? Where are you from, Jeremy?
I'm from Kuala Lumpur. I spoke to you once.
Yes. Okay.
I don't really have any particular question to ask. I just watch and listen.
Okay,
Yes.
then let me go to Brian then. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Brian, how are you? Where are you from?
I'm currently back in my hometown, Penang.
Penang. Okay.
Yeah.
You have question?
I have a question, Tanajan. Previously, I think I might have asked you before. This is with regards to meditation, in particular with the recitation of Buddha. I've tried that, and I felt that even in between the words of Buddha, there will be thoughts coming in between, slotting in along the way, and which will get you away from your mindfulness. So what I've been trying to do is more like trying to recite the word verbally as fast as I can. But I can do it for a while, but later on I kind of realized that still my mind lingers away and it kind of wanders away, and I have to pull myself back again. So just wanted to get the advice from Tanajan.
Well, you just keep reciting the Buddha. Or if you find that not working, maybe you can do some chanting first. Because when you chant, you might have to pay more attention to what you chant. And don't disregard the thoughts that come in between you. Don't pay attention to them. It's normal for beginners to have thoughts while you still chant or when you still recite the Buddha. But if you keep concentrating on your chant or on your Buddha, then gradually, eventually, the thought will fade away. Just keep doing it. Keep reciting, and don't try to be expecting a lot from what you do. Just be cool, be patient, and just keep reciting Buddha. Okay, my thought is still here. Doesn't matter. I'll keep Buddha. Don't wish it to go away because it can cause you to have frustration.
And Tanajan, is that right for me to do it verbally rather than do it in my mind?
If you cannot do it in your mind, then verbally you can start with verbal. Then afterward, then you can stop verbal and then become mental. Use mental because mental will be more will be closer to the mind. Then the mind doesn't have to direct the body to recite. Then the mind can become calmer that way. But when you first start, you might not be able to do it mentally. Then you use verbally first. Like lots of people do chanting verbally. Yeah. And then after they chant for a while, then the mind becomes calmer. Then they can use mental.
And Ajahn, I mean, every week I'll do Itipiso chanting, 108 times. But along the way, I felt that, even despite me trying to focus on Itipiso chanting, my mind wanders away. I guess it's the same problem again, right?
Well,
and how to kind of.
One of the problem is for you counting. So stop counting. Just keep reciting without counting. Just recite until you feel calm. Then you can stop. Don't worry about how many times you do it. It's not the amount of time you do it. It's the result that you get from doing that you want. So just keep chanting until you feel calm, and you can stop chanting and you feel that you are not thinking. Then you don't have to count. You don't have to chant. Then you can switch to watching your breath instead.
Thank you, Ajahn. Sure.
Okay, Karina, you're next. Karina, from Singapore or Malaysia? Singapore.
Hi, Ajahn. Yes, I'm from Singapore. Today I don't have any question yet. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go to Max then. Okay, Max Silverberg. Hi, where are you from?
Hi, Ajahn. I'm from Florida in the United States.
Hi, okay, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for hosting these meetings.
Yes, do you have any questions?
Today I just wanted to listen in, but I did want to say that I really like your analogy of the Dhamma to a video game with like level 70, level 80, level 90. I heard that Dhamma talk and I thought it was compelling.
Okay, good. Okay, nice talking to you. Let me go to the next person, okay? Kelvin, you already said before, so let me go to Yannasangwararam. Yannasangwararam, you want to say something?
Hello, Bante. I just came back home and I have not yet thought about any question, although I do have a list here. Do we have much time or did I come late?
Oh, we have plenty of time today. No
We're
time
not limited by 40 minutes today.
That's right.
So, okay, my one of the main challenges I face practicing the Dhamma is when I'm dealing with difficult people, like when I'm dealing with people who like bring the worst out of me, like really provoke me to get angry or make some reaction. And some people seem to do that on purpose. So how can we deal with these people without creating any bad karma for ourselves?
You should be thankful for them to point out your weakness, your weak point. If you don't have this type of people, then you might think you have no problem. So first of all, you should be thankful for them to instigate the anger inside yourself. In this way, then you won't get mad at the person. He's like a doctor, he's trying to cure your disease by like injecting vaccine into your body, right? When you inject vaccine, then your body will have some bad reaction. You might get a fever, you might get pain, but after a while, your body will adapt to the vaccine. So when you run into bad people or people causing you anger, then you will learn how to cope with them, learn to live with them, accept them for what they are. Because you cannot You cannot tell them what to do. They are independent. They are like the sun and the rain. Always try to look at everything like as the weather. You cannot control them. You cannot stop them. If they want to say or do something to make you angry, just let them do it.
And should we think that in a past life we also did something to these people, and that's why they seem to be so intent on harming us because of we already harmed them in the past life?
Well, that's another way of looking at it. Anyway, so that it will stop you from reacting to them and let them be. And you're not creating new karmas with them. When you get angry, you might react, and then you're creating new karmas. But if you think that it's your karma and you want to pay your karma, you don't want to add new karma, then you just let them be. Okay?
And what should we do with the anger that arises? I mean, because it's not so healthy also to keep it inside, you know, it kind of like
recite the mantra.
perpetrates.
When you're angry, just recite the mantra. Bhutto, 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 and forget the person that makes you angry. Once you forget about the person, then the anger will disappear.
So we're not suppressing the anger. We just
No, you just switch the channel. Instead of watching this channel, you switch the mind to a different channel.
yeah, like Discovery Channel, no?
Yeah.
Self-discovery channel.
or go to a comedy channel. You know.
Yeah.
Bhutto
Okay,
in the
Bhante.
future. Okay.
The Buddha channel.
Okay. We've been on for about 1 hour and 15 minutes now. So right now, I'll let anybody wants to say anything, just go ahead.
Langpo.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Langpo. So this is to add on just now. One of the sister mentioned on after a person passed away. So I would like to ask, this is regarding after a person has been cremated, so a dead person. So like in Malaysia or maybe in Malaysia, it's quite common to say that after cremation, they put in an urn and then put in a place to pay respect. Or maybe they put in the urn and then, they put it, after that, drop it into the sea. Or maybe they scatter the ashes and bones at the sea. So personally, I think it doesn't really matter, because like if let's say for that a person who has already passed away, I mean, we will just do our part to, do prayers and then share merits with them. But I would just like to know what is Langpo's view or opinion on this.
Like the body, once it's dead, it's just like a dead wood. You can do anything to it. You can burn it, you can bury it. It just depends on the dead person also, how he is regarded by those who are still alive. If he is highly regarded, then they might do something more things for him, like build a stupa maybe. Like if he's a teacher, like an Ajahn, they will keep the remains after they cremate, and then they will put it in the jedi, in the pagoda, to be something for them to pay respect to even after his death. So it's up to each individual, and how he is related to the one who still lives. Then they will decide how to deal with the remains of the person.
Okay, so like if let's say, for example, if we have indication that a person is reborn in not a very good realm, is it better to keep the remains at a place and then, or to do prayers for them, or so that supposedly they will have a place to go back to?
You don't need the remains to pray to make marriage for them. The remain only remind of him, of the person that once lived on this earth. That's all. But as far as want to send merit to the spirit, you don't need to have the remains to do it. It's in your thoughts. You can think and then think of him or her, and then make merit, and then dedicate this merit that you have made to them, to him or her.
Okay, so that means it will not be like, for some, they will say that, if the person, the spirit, let's say, is reborn already to a spirit realm, then he or she has no place to go to. So how does this work actually?
Everybody has a place to go because karma will send them to all the worst places, good karma and bad karma. So you don't have to worry about them once they depart from this earth. Their karma will be the one who look after them. The Buddha said we have karma as our property, as our father and mother. That's all. So you don't have to worry about the spiritual beings. Once they depart from this earth, they will go according to their karma. Some go to heaven if they did good karma. Some will go to hell if they did bad karma.
Okay, thank you, Lang Po.
Lang Po, can I ask a question?
Please go ahead.
Actually, now I plans to do sitting meditation at home. So normally when I do vipassana, I will sort of set my alarm for about 1 hour. So then after that, I will get out from the sitting meditation. So what is Lan Po's advice on this? Whether I should set the time or I just keep on meditating until the mind just come out?
You should set your mind on mindfulness, not on the clock. Because then you'll keep worrying about the time when you meditate. Then you won't be able to concentrate. So don't worry about the clock unless you have to do something and you need something to remind you. Then you can just set an alarm for the time that you have to stop. But otherwise, just keep meditating and set your mind on mindfulness, on the object of your meditation.
Okay.
And then you will get the result. If not, you keep thinking about what time is it now? How long have I sat? And sometimes, if you're so curious, you might open up your eyes and look at the clock. So this will destroy your meditation. You won't get anywhere. You'll just be running around the clock.
Yes.
Okay.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you, Lan Po.
Next, anybody wants to say anything? Please go ahead.
Ajahn, just
yes, please go ahead.
Questions, right? When you ask us to recite Buddha, is it like recite mentally, or like sometimes I find like if I want to do Itipiso, right? Mentally for me it's hard, but I just do a very use my lip to move.
Yes,
then
you can
it's
start.
easier for me.
You can use the verbal first, and then if your mindfulness is strong enough, you might be able to do it mentally.
Okay,
mentally
so
will be better because you don't have to use your voice. That means the mind doesn't have to work harder. If you use the body, the mind has to tell the body what to do. When you chant, when you want to lead the mind to stillness, not to action. So the mind eventually has to stop using the body, directing the body to do things.
Okay.
So you first do it because if you cannot focus on your breath, you cannot recite a mantra, then or you cannot recite mentally, then you can chant verbally first to establish more mindfulness or more concentration. Once you are able to chant mentally, then you can stop verbally. And better if you can watch your breath, then you can stop chanting altogether. And just keep watch your breath. Because that way the mind will be less active. The mind doesn't have to do much activity. Okay?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? We're on about 1 hour and 24 minutes now. So if nobody wants to say anything, I will have to stop this meeting. sooner or later. Not now, but just let you know. If everybody is happy, satisfied with their questions, and they have no more questions to ask, then maybe it's time for me to say goodbye. But not right now. Just to let you know how we're gonna end this meeting when nobody else has anything to say.
May I ask one more question, Ajahn, please?
Please go ahead.
I just would like to have some clarification on sharing merit. So after meditation, I try to practice sharing merit. I'm just not clear on whether it works, how it works, if it's effective. I always share with my my guardians, devas, devatas, my deceased relatives, living beings, and then all beings. Is it? I've also heard though that sharing merit with other beings is actually not helpful because they can't receive it unless they can hear you. I'm not sure how it works.
Well, basically, sharing merit, you share the merit you make from charity, from dana, not from sila or from pavana. So you want to share the merit to the departed, like your father or your mother who die, and you worry that they might be in destitute, and you can send them some merit by doing dana, by doing charity, giving food, giving money to anybody really, to the temple, to the hospital, to the school. Any kind of charity will generate merit in your mind, and you can then dedicate or share this merit with the departed, but not with pavana, with meditation. We don't share this type of merit. We share the merit from charity. Okay.
Ajahn, can I ask one question?
Please go ahead.
Ajahn, how about sharing merit after chanting, they say, sutra, mantra to the person who passed away? Is it effective? Besides dana?
No. Dana has to do when you have to do something for other people and make other people happy. When you make other people happy, you feel happy. And you can share this happiness with the departed. But sometimes we interpret merit to be everything, to be dana, to be sila, and to be pavana. But from the scripture, the Buddha said when you want to make merit for the departed, you do charity.
Charity, okay.
Giving food to the monks or to the poor people, help the sick, help the elderly, anybody, just to make them happy. When you make other people happy, you feel happy inside. Then you can share this happiness with the spirit. Okay?
Okay.
So Ajahn, Karina here. What if we do dana and then we forget to transfer the merits? I recall most of the time I cannot remember unless I'm mindful. So is there any no? Because I thought that most of people they will do a transfer of merits. But what if we don't do?
You do it right away after you give money. After you give money, then you just dedicate the merit right away. Because if you don't, you can forget.
Oh, okay.
And the feeling later will be different also. The happiness that you have from giving charity might be submerged by other feelings, because you will deal with other situations later on. You might get angry at somebody. So instead of dedicating, sharing the the good feeling, you might sharing the bad feeling later on. So the best thing is to, as soon as you finish giving your dana, dedicate that right away.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
And you don't need a monk to chant for you either. You don't need water to pour. You just say it in your mind. Yeah, I would like to share this good feeling that I have from doing charity to my parents who die, or to my friends who die, to my dogs even, if you want to. Some people even make share marriage to the dog, because they love their dog.
How about for the living?
Living, you give them money. You give the thing right away. Because living, they don't need marriage, they need money.
That's true.
That's why you do charity with the living. You do charity with the living. Then you share your merit from charity with the dead, with the departed.
That makes sense. Okay, Ajahn, because another question is like most of the time I will remind myself to keep the 5 precepts. But then somehow at night, because I used to pray before I sleep, the mind will automatically like screen through that whole day. What have I done? And then did I do something wrong? It is automatically. Is it no? Is this what we how to say? If we are not mindful, that means somehow we did something wrong. It might trigger that kind of karma. I just want to ask this is like if we are not mindful, right? How to say? That means this mind, it will, whether we are mindful or not, it will still works its way.
Yes, it does. If you're mindful, then you can control your thoughts more or less. But when you're not mindful, then your thought will be controlled by your good or bad karma, like when you're dreaming.
Okay. So if let's say even like I realize that even when I sleep, right, I also can see my roommate. What's my roommate doing? I was aware that it is like I have eyes to see, but I know that I'm sleeping. But I can see my roommate doing something. So is that in the dream, or because like the mindfulness is that very strong that the knowing really know something, what's going on?
It depends on what you know is true or not. If it's true, then you have in your eye, spiritual eye. If it's not true, then it's just your imagination.
Yeah, somehow have to contemplate what differentiate.
Which is
yeah.
which.
Okay, understand. The last question is during the meditation trip, right? Went with my sister, and then one of the night, because we do discuss. In my dream I saw, I think it's an ancient type of people come to ask for marriage. I think it's a gray color, gray color, and then wear some kind of we say hat, and then he just like that. So, but he didn't say anything, but I know that he's asking for something. So I remember that I asked him, is like, what do you want? Yeah. So I say no to him. Then he disappeared. So the next morning when I talked to my sister, she said the same thing, and we described the same feature, the dressing, because we sleep on top of the bunk. Meditation trip, we sleep on top of the bunk. So maybe next to each other. So was it possible this sort of thing will happen?
Well, it already happened to you, right? Okay.
Common.
So why ask me if it's possible or not? If it's already happened.
Yeah, why it happened?
I just want to. Whatever happens, happens. But whether it has any significance or not, that's another story.
Yeah, because in the dream we cannot control that. Whether we want to give him a marriage or not is, I think, is an automatic kind, right? It's not like when we are in the meditation, we can control that, we are mindful, and we know that if his mind is really out of mind, we can just pull back and then concentrate on our breath as well. But in our dream, it doesn't fall in that way.
If you have dreams like this, then the next morning you just give food to the monks or do some charity, and then share the merit to the person that you dream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, correct. That's why on that the next day, the monk, he mentioned that whoever that last night that someone asking for marriage, maybe you should do transfer. You have to do it, transferring of it. Yeah. It's so wonderful.
Just as an insurance, you might just be your imagination, or it might be real. So just to make sure that the person really needs your help, then you should give them the help they need. They need the merit. So normally for Thai Buddhists, if they dream something like this, then they will usually make merit the next day.
Oh, okay. So what about if in reality that I after work when I'm about to go home, I think it's the middle of the night, maybe like 12 plus, when I press the leave. So I thought that in the side view, I thought that I met my colleague. So when I turned to my right side and I saw the girl, and I think the girl looked at me also. She was shocked. I was shocked. So then when I turn back, it's like something is not right. Then I turn back, it disappeared. So I went to the corridor and checked around. There was nothing. So when I talked to my friend, she is also spiritually quite rich as well. She told me that because I have a light, that's why this thing was attracted to me, something like that. So during that time, I was wondering that, was it in my dream or is it reality? Because I see with my own eyes.
The Buddha said that whatever you see, just treat it as anicca, dukkha, anatta, and forget about it.
Okay. Not sure whether she needs help. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If she really needs help, she'll come back again and ask you for it.
Sure.
Okay. Anybody else?
Langpo. Yeah, just to add on to just now you're mentioning that we need to do dana so that then the people will be happy, and then in return we will be happy. So and then bhavana for transfer of merits is not feasible. So this applies to, let's say we attend meditation retreat, so our mind is generally more calm and probably maybe happy. So in this case also, if we share merits, it will not work as well.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't work or not, but I'm just saying that from the scripture, the Buddha only described the way to share merit is from charity. Okay. There was just a story about a king have some dream of some loud noises, and then he went to see the Buddha, and the Buddha said, "Your old friends asked for help." So, and then the king asked how to help the spirit. The Buddha said, "Just give dana, do charity, and then share the merit." So that's how this sharing of merit come about in Buddhism. Okay.
Thank you, Langpo.
Langpo, I'd like to ask on the same issue. How about, let's say, if a person takes on 8 precepts, will that, during that time, if sharing of merits anytime, will it actually sort of like help the deceased? Because
I don't know. I tell you, the only way to for sure that you can share merit is from charity. But from keeping the precept or meditating, I'm not sure whether it's possible or not.
Okay. All right.
You can do it if you want to share. You know, no one can stop you. You say, I'm keeping the 8 precepts today. I want to share this merit. You can do it. Whether it works or not, I don't know.
Okay.
It's not important anyway. What's more important is yourself, your mind. How to make yourself happy. Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, Ajahn, I have a question, Ajahn.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, when I do the 8 precept in the evening, can I do pana or no?
Can you drink pana? If you drink,
yeah. When I do the 8 precept, yeah, in the evening, can I do pana or no?
Do pana, you mean do meditation?
No, eat like sunflower fruits in the evening a little bit.
If they are allowed, see, there are things that you can allow. They're considered to be medicine. If they are medicine, then you can eat. Or if they are fruit juices, you're allowed to drink some fruit juices after midday.
Okay, that's mean I cannot eat like sunflower or fruits. Just
it depends on how they are categorized. If they are categorized to be medicine, then you can eat. If they are categorized to be food, then you cannot eat.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, Ajahn, can I ask a question?
Yes, please go ahead.
In the yoga tradition, they say that in order for us to enter samadhi or the jhanas, we have to be able to sit for 3 hours in meditation, at least 3 hours. Is that also true from a Buddhist point of view?
No. It depends on your mindfulness. If you have strong mindfulness, you can enter jhana in 5 minutes.
But for us, we are mortals or beginners. I'm pretty sure we need more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it might take more years, many years before you can enter the jhana. Because you haven't developed continuous mindfulness. If you have continuous mindfulness, 5 minutes is enough to bring the mind to full concentration.
Okay, Bhante.
Try to do it for 5 minutes. Keep watching your breath for 5 minutes and not going anywhere. Not thinking about anything. Just merely watching.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, anybody else? I've been on this meeting for about 1 hour and 42 minutes, more or less. So I think I will have to leave you for now. Okay? Unless somebody has some urgent question that needs to add at this time. Please speak up. If nobody speak up, then I will have to say goodbye to all of you for now. Thank you for joining this meeting. I hope it gives you some benefit. And if you want to ask any more questions, we'll meet again next time, hopefully next week, but I cannot promise. Because the future is anicca. You don't know what's going to happen. But if everything works out, then we'll probably meet at the same time next week. In the meantime, stay healthy and happy and safe. And be happy and hopefully advance in your practice. Thank you and good night.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.